and governance expert, joins us today on Political Update. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Professor. Good afternoon, Nigerians.
Let's start from the umpire. 2 elections, Edo and Ondo, those ones have been concluded. Just like the reporter said, we now shift attention to Anambra and Ekiti states. Your marks for the umpire at this time?
Clearly, just like, on the assumption of power, this our party in government, we were very clear about ensuring a very transparent, free and fair election at all levels. Mr. President started pushing for direct primaries so that we can have equal participation in every part of the country. He now pushed. We are losing election, even in some states that we hold. We lose them to court, we lose them through election, and it has been clearly well accepted by our party because we are progressive, we are interested in the peace and the progress of this country. So we can see we went to Edo, we did very well, we have a very wonderful candidate, we lost. Went to, of course, Ondo, just like I tell you, Akete has done marvelously well when it comes to infrastructure. In fact, if you see what he has done in Akure, it's actually more than what he did in Owo. But you could see how the politics played out. He won very well. It was very tremendous. We expect to see big industrialization within Ondo and more. And this is what we're expected to see just around the southwest. So we're waiting for the next election. INEC did very well. They are already improving the card reader already. They are doing more. We're expecting them to be able to do better in foreign. We'll look to be seeing that success will continue to emanate from this INEC, and of course the country will continue to have a very peaceful and transparent election. So congratulations to Mr. President, of course congratulations to our party, and congratulations to the beneficiaries, which are the Ondo people and Nigerians. So with this we can say congratulations to INEC itself for doing a wonderful job. Is
this the face of Nigerian elections going forward? We have a portal now, you can monitor online. That should, to a reasonable extent, deepen public confidence in the electoral process. Perhaps we'll begin to see more voters even turning out for elections.
That's clearly telling you, allowing Nigerians to be actively participating in the process. You monitor as it is happening. You monitor it while the process is on to conclusion. And it's only APC that can give you that. We allow
beyond campaigns.
Of course, campaigns. It's not about beyond campaigns. It is this government makes sure, this party makes sure that the INEC remains independent, and that's why you see we don't go trying to intimidate the opposition during our elections. We go to the issues and we deliver, and that's exactly what's happening all over.
Let's move to perhaps post-election issues now. What we would be expecting, especially from the victors in Edo and Ondo, in terms of fence mending and repositioning their states for even better dividends of them, delivery of dividends of democracy.
Okay, let me start from Edo. Clearly, his people voted him to power, so he has no choice but to deliver to the people. The politicking is over. It's time for governance. He has to mend all the fence, sit down with the opposition and every Edo citizen, and ensure that you deliver what they need. There is a serious infrastructural deficit within the Benin. Several other governments in the past have done so well. But he needs to sit down and make sure that all those areas that have been crying over this, if you can look at the result of Edo, you could see how our candidate did very well, which tells you that there are a lot of people, majority within his strand that are that he's very popular around. So it's very important for you to work with them, for you to have a successful, because he needs to be successful after his tenure, not during election only. He also needs to be successful in the period of governance. That's very key. And if you go to, of course, Ondo, clearly, he's a gentleman. Aketi is a gentleman. We all call him a very... In fact, I don't look at him as a lawyer. I look at him as a clear industrialist. He's the only governor in Southwest today that during the pandemic, he's busy trying to industrialize every part of that state. You could see he's fighting for ports to be in Ondo. He's fighting for, if you look at, he's not someone, he's looking at the future for that Ondo. So going forward, of course, he has started mending all the fences. He has gone to people he was having issues with in the party, had peace with them. Even all those others in the other party has met with them. So he's a gentleman, and we expect him to continue to do that. Even invite people from the Jagedes camp, because it is somebody that is very strong in the central. Invite them, let's have a very peaceful Akure. We need a peaceful Nigeria. So after election, we need governance, and the only way we can have a successful governance is when we ensure that every stakeholder within the strata is being invited for us to be able to push, and we can, although we succeed, of course the country will succeed. This is what we expect to see at foreplay going forward in government.
All right, the youths have been in the forefront of one issue or the other in the past few weeks. Issues, we start first from PS. It's been, a year that not many people were able to, push on further in terms of trade linkages and all that. And now the youths, as a large chunk of Nigeria's demographics, is perhaps taking the attention of the administration.
You see, clearly, look at the PS program entirely. It's actually exposing the talent that has been left unharnessed around the country, which is a vulnerable group, just like you said, the youth. And most of them have graduated from colleges. They are very talented in what they do. With what you are saying, beside the PS and, of course, correlated to the 774,000 employment that is supposed to be done to 774 local government around the country, is exposing to the entire Nigerians what this government really aspires for the youth of this country.
On the other aspect, the second story, Dr. Weiler, just a final push.
She is a wonderful woman. She has done very well for country and, of course, the world. And with her exceptional transparency in her leadership, you could see when she was the managing director of the World Bank, what she was able to accomplish. We'll be very proud to see Mrs. Uwela, of course, emerge as WTO DG. And clearly, Nigeria will be, just like we succeeded with additional, Nigeria and Africa will be very proud to have her as a DG WTO, and that will be good for Nigeria, Africa, and of course the world.
All right, finally, recovery and resilience. This year was interrupted, of course, we got the January to December cycle, but interrupted greatly by the pandemic in killing mood. But what are your, thoughts on this one?
Why you even have to applaud this president on the issue of budget performances, if you look at the KPI itself and the budget performance for this year, is almost 68%. And remember, there was interruption in the international crude oil market, which is our major revenue. It goes as low as 40-something, even before the pandemic. When the pandemic sets in, it affected the revenue of the entire world. There was even a restriction by the OPEC over even your production line, where you can actually, but this government, because of exceptional transparency, it made sure that the less than $30 a barrel there was transparency there. They ensure that the line, when it comes to public service, from salaries to other, they maintain it for the entire period. And I can also tell you that we are one of the advocates of saying not just a 12-month cycle of a budget, with relevance, of course, to MTEF, 36 months. Because if you look at 2020 budget, Mr. President, upon all this pandemic, ensure that backlog of projects that were started in 2019 were carried over. It was rolled over for the 2020 budget, and that's why you see successes. Because in 2019, some releases might not be up to maybe 40-50%, but successfully, when they are rolled over to the prevailing year and the revenues are releases, all this infrastructure went on, and that is an applaud to this particular government, and we hope it continues in 2021 when we shall succeed, when we have a 36-month cycle of budget, God's willing.
That has been the size of Political Update today. Many thanks to our guest, Prince Sule.